Hello friends, today we are going to study the third disease of inflammatory disease of esophagus, which is called scleroderma or systemic sclerosis. It is a unique disease which is very rare. We come to definition. It is an inflammatory disease characterized by skin and internal organs widespread fibrosis. This disease usually occurs between 30 to 50 years of age people. Male and female ratio is 1 or third. We come to pathophysiology. There are two types of scleroderma. The first one is limited scleroderma and the second is diffuse or widespread scleroderma. Limited occurs in 80% and diffuse occurs in 20%. It is an autoimmune disease. Limited scleroderma is called CREST syndrome, where C means calcinosis cutis, R means Raynaud phenomena, E means esophageal dysmotility, S means sclerodactyly, T means telangiectasis. In limited scleroderma, skin fibrosis can be seen only in face and hands. Now we come to the diffuse or widespread scleroderma. It can affect skin of the almost whole body and also internal organs like kidney, heart, interstitial space of lungs. We come to the clinical features. Number one is Raynaud phenomena. It is a first sign of limited scleroderma which occurs after years. The second feature is polyarthralgia. It means pain in most joints. Third is weight loss and tiredness. They are primary sign of diffuse scleroderma. The fourth one is skin manifestation. Non-pitting edema with itching occurs in this disease. After time passing, skin fold dies out or vanishes, and at last only skin and bone will be left for patient. Fifth feature is gastrointestinal manifestation. In GI tract, dysphagia and reflux becomes because of the fibrosis, and esophagus occurs, in which motor defect occurs. Fibrosis of GI tract and atrophy, diverticulum of jejunum, ileum and colon. Now we come to respiratory manifestation. Due to lung tissue and vessel fibrosis, respiratory function decreases. Features in cardia: pericarditis, heart blocks, myocardial fibrosis, right heart failure due to pulmonary hypertension occurs. Renal manifestation: hypertension which can be treated by angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors like captopril, enalapril, ramipril, lisinopril. Now we come to diagnostic examinations. The first one is blood examination. Anemia, especially microangiopathic hemolytic anemia. Erythrocyte sedimentation rate will be elevated. Positive anti-nuclear antibody will be found. Scleroderma antibody will be found. like anti-scleroderma 70 against topoisomerase enzyme. Positive in 20% of cases in CREST syndrome and in 1/3 in diffuse sclerosis. Anti-centromere antibody will be found. Now we come to the treatment of scleroderma. There is no drugs available for scleroderma, only systemic treatment we can do. For example, for Raynaud phenomena, we can use nifedipine 30 to 120 mg per day, losartan 50 mg per day, sildenafil 2 times a day. For esophageal manifestation, we can use or we can do liquid food regime in use of PPI. Third one is delayed stomach clearance, reducing weight, eating less food, sleeping about 2 hours before after eating. Malabsorption with bacterial overgrowth. We can use tetracycline 500 mg 4 times a day. Hypertension due to kidney manifestation. We can use captopril 25 mg QID or 4 times a day. Maximum dose 100 mg per 6 hours. Myositis, we can use prednisolone. Pulmonary interstitial disease, we can use cyclophosphamide. In hemodynamic defect with pulmonary hypertension, we can use bosentan. In pulmonary hypertension, we can use sildenafil or prostaglandin, IV or inhalatory. In severe diffuse sclerosis, we can do immunoablative therapy. So we come to the prognosis of scleroderma. In 40% of patients, they die in 9 years. Prognosis are bad in black people, male, old age, and diffuse scleroderma. High chances of lung and breast cancers are available. Thanks for watching.